What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are all having a good day. So let's, as of right now, once you guys can see me live and everything, please give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up that you guys can hear me okay. Let's look at that level 2. Okay. So all I want to focus on right now is, focusing on something that's actively trending up. That's every call out that we're going to be having today is something that is actively trending up. Best way to do it. There's a decent amount of stocks that are actively trending up. Let's focus on that. Everything else of pending reversals, we're going to have to wait up on that. All right, we're good. I like it. All right. So real quick, you guys can see overall DGAS showing signs of it being very on the oversold side. This was on Friday. As of today, showing signs of a potential reversal. On the 1 day, 1 minute, you could see that it was showing signs of an uptrend, and overall, as it sold off, it looks like it's trying to bounce off the middle VWAP. What I'm going to do is, because the EMA line is still pointing down, I'm going to set up an alert. All right, looks like we have a couple of people talking about Gush. I did see that. All right, Gush, definitely showing signs of it being a little bit overextended. Look at that RSI, look at that MACD indicator starting to curve back in because that momentum isn't necessarily there anymore. A lot of consolidation happening, support at around $36. One thing that I would do right here is, because it's been kind of showing signs of a peak formation, right? If we buy right now, we want to make sure that we don't buy at the very top, and as of right now, that's kind of the indication that I'm getting from this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert from if it goes above or below. Right? How do we know if it's going to continue to actively trend up? Well, if it makes higher highs. How do we know if it's going to get rejected and pull back? Well, if it breaks that support where it's consolidating at. So right now, we're just getting that kind of consolidation at this point. I mean, this isn't where a lot of money is going to be made, right? We either want it to continue to trend up or for it to sell off, and then we could wait for a dip buy or something like that. So good morning. All right, BBY. Okay, so BBY is not really up. I mean, it's actively trading up. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, so BBY still showing signs of an uptrend. This is a little bit more of a conservative, slower moving stock, right? Previous resistance or support is going to be $75, and that's going to act as a resistance as of right now. How would I make that assumption? Old support level 75 can act as a new resistance level 75. So it is showing signs of an uptrend on this 180-day 4-hour chart. But not something that I would see it's not moving quick enough for me as of right now. Easiest way to put it. So WTI, I did see that this one was overextended intraday, showing signs of a peak formation. Again, how do you know when it's showing signs somewhat of a peak formation? When it peaks out, starts to consolidate, starts to flatline, no longer makes higher highs, right? So we can set an alert to see if it starts to move back up again, as well as the RSI and the MACD is trying to curve back in. Something to take into consideration. FRAC, I missed my entry. I don't know. I was trying to set up the live stream. I was trying to trade at the same time. Very wrong, right? As you guys can see, previous high at around 1370. What I'm waiting for is, for this thing to either continue that uptrend pattern. So if it goes above 1370, great. But if it either starts to pull back and starts to trend down, then we could avoid it from that point forward. So where's it at? What it's doing a very good job with is holding above this EMA indicator as of right now. It's been doing a pretty good job as it's moving, actively moving and trending up. So I like it. They're so rested and ready to make money. What else is actively trending up? Let's see. Gush locked in at 36. Yeah, 36. So yeah, I'd have to say that Gush as of right now, if I was in it and I was up the percentage that it's up right now, it's looking like it's still trying to trend up. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. It's about to make higher highs for the day. Let's see what happens. Is it gonna? Okay, there it goes. I would still consider the idea of selling at around this price point. It's still at a resistance level. It would still make sense on why this would be a good sell. And if it really starts to continue to uptrend, then I could always revisit the idea of getting back in. Easiest way to put it, right? As of right now, not much going on with that. All right. I'm just gonna move this like way down here just to make sure that I don't get filled randomly. All right, BBY just broke above $75. Sweet, sweet. All right, still continuous off right now. Frac is pulling back. It looks like there's a lot of stocks that we're trying to actively trend up. I do apologize if the alert is a little too loud for you. Okay, looks like we're having quite a bit of a sell-off on a lot of the stocks that are actively trending up. Again, if DGAS is trending down, that means that UGAS should be trending up, right? So just broke above the middle VWAP. Margin from middle to top VWAP is about 1.6%. Might be something to take into consideration, right? And there it goes again, but I just don't find this margin as of right here from 1360 to 1365 to be too, too attractive, right? And we're trying to focus on quality. So what I want to see is for this thing to continue this overall reversal. Hunter's like, I'm only a little deaf now. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay. Let's look at the overall direction for natural gas. Okay, so it is trying to reverse back up. Okay. I like this. It had a pretty solid sell-off on the 20-day, 1 hour, and all that, still showing signs of an uptrend. So I would still treat it as a day trade as of right now because I'm looking at day trade indicators and that's how I'm seeing value in it. Trading above the middle VWAP, I like that, right? When it trades in between the middle and top VWAP, that means it's showing signs of an uptrend pattern. And then as well as this EMA line is now starting to point up, right? And then there's this margin of profit, the 1.6%, that I'm potentially able to capitalize on. So let's draw our exit range, right? And then let's draw our potential entry. So let's see. Let's revisit FRAC one more time. Yep, there we go. So EMA line on this no longer showing signs of an uptrend, right? Showing signs kind of a horizontal EMA, right? So RRD just broke its resistance. So I don't know if one of you guys can follow up on that one for me. So RRD. All right. So let's say $69 per share, pretty much $7 per share. Okay, so about 350 to 400 shares. I need to cancel the one on FRAC. There it goes. It starts to sell off. Canceled. Okay. So I'm gonna go with for the first one, 350. I'll go with 200 shares just to start off. All right. 100%. So team, you could always cover profits. You could always re-enter. Thank you again, Ginny, for reminding them. What do you think about you guys as a swing trade? I mean, it definitely does make sense on that it can continue to uptrend and stuff like that. But right now, it's kind of do you see these patterns that it kind of has? So like it pushes up, and then when it pushes up, it doesn't last for a very long time. It sells off, pushes up, sells off, pushes up, sells off. So with that understanding, like it's pushing up and it's most likely going to sell off. So or we're catching it during a sell-off as of right now. So just something to take into consideration. CBay, let's check that out. Okay, just broke its resistance a little bit far from that EMA line. It usually does a pretty good job pulling back, so something we'll have to take into consideration. That actively trading up, yeah, it's moving pretty quick. It's pretty solid. Wait, what? Why is that spread so wide? Look at the bid, 69.73. Look at the ask, 69.82. Yeah, that thing's messed up. Okay. All right, looks like I missed the entry on that. All right, gosh, still showing signs of an uptrend. WTI still trying to consolidate. JNUG trying to hold above that middle VWAP. Looks like we just got a bounce and a break above the EMA. Solid, Nathan. Nice, nice. There it goes. Wow. I missed it. There it goes. Pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. The good thing is that we called it out. We identified the pattern. And again, I know this sucks. And I know it's happened to a lot of you, probably like many times, is like you identify a pattern. And that's the whole point of it, though. You're at least still doing something that a lot of people can't do. And that's identifying a pattern that you see value in, and that you're trying to be conservative with what it is that you're doing, right? So we saw this dip buy potential, right, for something that was actively trading up. It sold off, started to consolidate, broke above the EMA, broke above the middle VWAP, started, meeting certain criterias, right? And it's nothing to be upset about, though. It really isn't. There's so much opportunity out there. The real good thing that we can focus on is that we were very patient. We identified a pretty solid pattern. We were waiting for a series of things to play out. And yeah, so I think NG is at a resistance. Yeah, Ginny, I'm happy that you said that because I did see the potential resistance at the middle VWAP. Is that what you're calling out? So as natural gas is trying to move back up, again, it was getting rejected this entire time by this SMA line and by this VWAP. So yes, it is actively trading up, but it's more in like that more in that sell territory. So definitely makes sense on why it would peak out at that specific price point. So maybe we'll just have to wait. Let's set the alerts, and again, um, we just have to move on. All right, yeah, so DGAS now trying to bounce. There we go. So now this thing is the one that offers a decent margin, still trending below, right? So let's set the alerts and see what happens. JNUG. Okay, so JNUG is kind of consolidating right now. This thing is going to have a resistance at around $14. And then the next one after that is 14.20, then 14.40. I've traded a couple times to get 1.2%. I mean, I like it. It's a very slow moving stock as of right now. And that's the only thing that I don't find as attractive in comparison to other things, right? Also with /GC, which is the gold-based future, based on the overall direction as of right now, no, it's doing a lot of consolidation. So So yeah, I would like to wait a little bit more for a confirmation of an uptrend. So Frac still selling off, right? Still selling off. We're gonna set all our alerts right here. Maybe we can have a pretty decent dip buy potential, right, on FRAC if the opportunity presents itself. So like some people right now might be like, oh my God, Frac is at 1350 and it has potential to move back up. Maybe it's a good investment, right? Um, I agree that it might be a good potential, it's in a good buy area, but no confirmation of an uptrend just yet. So one thing that we can do, especially as a day trade, is being able to see the range of where it normally trades at, right? So let's say that we do a 2-day, 5-minute analysis, and it hit lows of about 1320 last time, it hit highs around 1370 last time. So now we understand this range, right? Wait, can you guys not hear me? Hello, hello? Yeah, I'm still using the mic, Don. The mic's right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, the mic's right here. So as you can see, there's this range of support and resistance, and it would make more sense on why to be a little bit more patient, to focus on a quality trade. A lot of you guys, again, have a goal of about 2 to maybe 5% growth on a weekly basis. How amazing would that be able to do? How amazing would it be to be able to lock that in all within one trade, right? And we can definitely potentially do that if we're patient, if we wait for the sell-off, right? It takes time. Sell-off, pushes up, consolidates, and then we get more of a confirmation. And at this point, it would have made sense to buy. And then once we see a peak formation, sell 2.38%, lock it in, boom, good to go, right? So it's selling off right now. Let's not have FOMO, right? And let's focus on, yes, it might potentially bounce here, but let's be patient. I know it sucks when we miss out on good call out opportunities. Trust me, I know. But it's definitely worth waiting. It's definitely worth being patient. So I'm just gonna set these series of alerts, and it's just super quiet. Hear you loud and clear. Don, you can't hear me, bro? All right, so okay, WTI is starting to reverse back down. Yeah, let's do this. Howard, thank you again for bringing it up. So Junior WTI middle view up. Yep, I do see that. Thank you again, Junie, for the reminder. I literally, Howard, I just typed in your name. My God, I don't know if you saw that. That's embarrassing. Frac just broke support, just like we expected it to. Solid. Okay, so let's understand, first of all, something that we've talked about before in the Learn, Plan, Profit course is first thing that I like to do is to understand the overall direction of whatever it is that I'm, investing in, right? So as of right now, UWT showing signs of an uptrend. I think it's DWT, right? The inverse, yeah. So DWT showing signs of a downtrend. Overall direction, right? So going back to UWT, I know that this is kind of like the bull ETF when focusing between those two. As of right now, it is trending down though, right? Looking at it a little bit closer, yeah, I mean, it is up today, but a lot of that margin that it covered, almost all of it, is all during pre-market hours. So one thing, one thing that I would focus on more is to get a little bit more of a confirmation that UWT is actually going to start showing signs of an uptrend rather than peaking out at where it's at right now, because again, although it is up 2.46%, that means nothing to us for those that did not swing trade this, because all this margin was covered during pre-market hours, which is a time that a lot of people don't have the ability to trade, right? While the market's been open, all right, so it looks like you guys are selling out. While the market's been open, it hasn't been able to do much, right? So I'm going to set my alert, and when we can follow up with UWT after that, but let's not force a trade, right? Let's not force like an entry just because it's been actively trading up. It means nothing when, again, it's all done pre-market hours, and as of right now, when the market's been open, the performance hasn't necessarily been there. It's just been consolidating. So let's let it do it. The talking as of right now, it's not doing that. So I can also set an alert if it starts to drop below a certain support. So great call out. I like it. It's just I'd like to wait a little bit more for confirmation. Gosh, there it goes. Here comes DGAS. So maybe we can cover some margin here. So let's just make sure. So with /NG. Dang. Okay, there we have some form of a rejection. So let's see what happens here. Wow. Okay. So some consolidation at around this price point. All right. All right. Sweet. Thank you for the reminder. Wow. These things are all over the place. Okay. Looks like it is now showing signs of a downtrend. Yeah, it is making lower lows. Okay. Right now, okay, there we go for DGAS. I'm going to take a position on DGAS. So if I was able to take a 250 position, so that should be about 500 shares on this. So oh, that's still too small. Yeah, so I'm going to take it as of right now a $16,000 position for DGAS, and then as it confirms more and continues to trend up, I'll add more to my position. So why is it that I'm investing in DGAS? First thing, looking at the specific ETF itself, of course, when I buy, it sells off. What's new, right? But overall, solid signs of an uptrend pattern, right? It did sell off as the market was opening, then again, showing signs of an overall reversal. Understanding how oversold DGAS is, I find that to be somewhat attractive. Again, doesn't mean that it's going to actively trend up. That's just more in preference. Looking at /NG and seeing how it's been rejected by this overall, SMA indicator, and how it peaked up and then got rejected once again is showing me some form of resistance, some form of indication of a resistance there, which means that if this thing continues to, because it peaked out here, right, and then it sells off, if it sells off and if it continues to sell off, then that's all margin that DGAS has the potential to cover, right? So we're back up. We're up at $7.50. That's like a Cane's combo with, 2 slices of bread and a cold slaw. That's our form of currency here. That's why we trade. But no, I'm serious. So, yeah. So I just explained my potential. I hope that that's something that you guys. It's not that I hope that's something that you guys see value in, but I hope it just you guys understand why I took my position. It's above the EMA line, right? I mean, we saw value in it when it was down here, reversing, and then natural gas was getting rejected. Jake, hey, how'd it play out last time? So here we go again. Ricky Gutierrez, I'm in UGAS and you're in DGAS. Jake, I think you won last time though, right? Didn't you? You were the one that came out on top, or no? Okay. Yeah, no, yeah. It's around $22. I think that's possible. I don't think that's too far fetched. Wow, that's far. Okay. So now it's no longer all right. Yeah, it definitely makes sense because that was the old support level, which means that would act as a new resistance level. Yeah, 100%. Jake, you killed it last time. All power to you. You got this. I hope that I'm wrong and that you're right, and that you continue to make more money. I'm serious. No, I really do. So I hope it plays out the way that you expect it to. I have my alert set. Again, I'm taking on like a risk by investing in something that was like getting rejected. And the only thing that I kind of liked about the /GC is that although it did sell off, it didn't make lower lows, right? I mean, it was selling off, didn't make lower lows, and the potential with this is that it can push right back up and then break above this or start to consolidate here. And if it begins to consolidate, then that's not going to be in favor for me. It's going to be more in favor for natural gas and UGAS because it's showing more signs of a overall resistance. Also, looking a little bit closer, the MACD indicator as of right now for natural gas is in your favor. Yeah, and the MACD indicator right now is in your favor as well for natural gas. And overall, UGAS is very bullish, right? So it would make sense. I just like going. No, I don't necessarily like going against the market and stuff like that, but I definitely do see value, and I have a lot of hope for DGAS. And I don't find it to be far-fetched for this thing to push up. So this is my first live stream. You're the man, Rick. What's going on? Happy to have you here. Thank you, thank you. There it goes. DGAS is slow for a day trading, right? Yeah, it definitely doesn't move very aggressively, right? Something that you want to take into consideration. No stop loss. Now, as of right now, I'm focusing on a breakup pattern. That's my roommate. FRAC, again, consolidating right now. I'm going to set my alert. What if I take a position on both? Then you're bound to take a loss, right? Because 100% then on one of them you will lose. But there we go, just broke above the resistance. That's something that we wanted to see. Oh, we're eating good today. I'm up $22.50. Green is green, right? Let's not forget about that. I personally like, so I was gonna buy more, and then this is something that, again, I'm just trying to share my thought process. When you saw when it hit highs of right here, when it hit highs of 21.40, right, and then it sold off, and then it bounced here, I was gonna add more to my position, right, because I'm only in with about like 40% of what my normal positions are. But the reason that I didn't is because, again, I like to focus, and that's a mistake that I would make when I just got started, is that I would start to add more to my position when it would sell off, and I would run the risk of a continuous sell-off. And I know that might be something that a lot of people might want to focus on, but when it comes down to the overall just understanding of investing in something that's actively trending up, I like to add more to my position when it continues to make higher highs. And I know I do run the risk of not getting in at the best price point, but getting that idea out of your head of like, forget about getting in at the best price point and just focus on investing in something that's actively trending up. I challenge you guys to do that. There we go. So if that's something that you guys have never tried out before and you guys are always like struggling on getting filled and stuff like that, it might be something that you guys might want to explore, right? Definitely might be something that might be worth exploring when it comes down to that. So let's see this. How much was it? All right. What's going on, James? Happy to have you here. Thank you again for tuning in. Up 72 so far. Let's see. Missed it. Am I up 100? What the heck? Update 82. Are you guys noticing that? Is it just me, or is your guys' TD Ameritrade a little slow today? Is it just me? I don't know, but no, 100%. And Andres, that's actually a shirt that I was thinking of coming up with. Of like, what do you think, Justin? It's like, am I the only one that hears you guys when Ricky says you guys? It's like, I love to invest in you guys, and I'm gonna put it. Do you guys get it? No? Huh. All right, sorry. I'll stop. I get it. What Thanks, Justin. I know I could always count on you. All right, there we go. Makes sense on why it's selling off, right? And again, this is something that I think I can experience like pretty often, where right as I buy, do you guys see that? Right as I bought when it was confirmed an uptrend, it was selling off. But again, having the idea in mind of being patient and focusing on investing in something that's actively trending up. So, yeah, I don't see where the resistance for DES are. Are you looking at the 2-day in this? So it would be one of two resistance. It would be either the pre-market resistance, right, highs of day at around 2170. So even with that, like let's say my average price is, I don't know, what's my average price right now? 2141, right? Even with that, right? 21. Let's just say 2140, and the overall resistance at the pre-market high, that's 1.44%. That's not bad, right? Now looking at the, we can look at a 20-day analysis, and really where there's a solid support, which would act as a solid resistance, would be right around $22. So old support levels become new resistance levels, something that we've covered in the course, right? And definitely would make sense. So if that were to be the case, then looking at the overall pattern, right, for 2140 to a potential exit, let's say 2190, not even $22, right? A little conservative, 2.38%, definitely not bad, right? It's something that I saw value in, and I'm trying to invest in it when it's actively trending up. I looked at the overall future itself, understanding the overall direction, right? And it makes sense to me. So great, it makes sense to me. It doesn't mean that it has to make sense to you. Just focus on the patterns, right? And use that concept for whatever it is that you invest in. Above the middle VWAP, right? Above the EMA, showing signs of higher highs and lower highs, right? Or higher lows. Yeah, let's get that right. And then overall, showing signs of an uptrend pattern, and a little bit more on the oversold side, so potential good deal, right? Yeah, okay. So let's follow up with the rest. Okay, WTI, so congrats to all those that were able to buy the dip. Again, it started to consolidate at the middle VWAP, then broke above. I think our alert did go off, right? Broke above the EMA line. That's solid. Sold off right now for JNUG. Very quick analysis. Looking at previous lows for JNUG, it's usually around 1370. It's usually in good buy territory. So it would make sense why around this specific price point, it would be a good potential buy. Good potential sell at around 13.88 to 13.9%, offers a little bit over 1% potential for profit. It doesn't act like, you have to ask yourself, like, there's a lot of stocks that offer 1% potential for profit. Is this the best one for you? I literally got so scared right now. I was like, I was looking at the wrong one. All right, there we go. So we're up $120, $119.80. We have Kane's money for the next month. Next week, really. All right, there we go. Let's set these alerts. And again, although my idea would be to sell closer to $22, I hope that you guys know that selling at this top VWAP is not going to be an issue for me at all. Let's again look at how many shares it is that we have. So aloha, what's going on, Daniel? So trading from Hawaii. I just joined LPP last week and already made 5% today on CP and WTI. Thanks for the knowledge, buddy. Wow, Daniel. And you're in Hawaii. I like that. Hope you're having fun. Or I don't know if are you from there. Let me know. And yeah, that's super cool. We actually plan to take a trip with the boys to Hawaii. That'd be pretty cool. I definitely want. All right, let's see. I hate the PDT. I was up 3.5%. I couldn't sell. Okay. All right. I love that. Happy to have you here. Thank you again. Gina, you crack me up. Trading ETFs gives meaning to life. I'm happy you feel that way. It's great, right? Once it starts, and again, this is a goal for each and every single one of us. Once the patterns start to make sense and a series of things start to fall in place with overall understanding of how to invest and how to progressively grow your account, I think that's when, in the very beginning, you get very excited about the money, but then after that, it becomes less about the money and more about just being able to successfully identify patterns. So the overall, pattern that we saw with like you guys and how it pushed up and how we saw value in it, and it covered almost exactly like we expected it to. I find that to be very like fulfilling, right? So okay, yeah, we'll follow up with USLV and DSLV in just a little bit. So I love that. Sweet. Paper trading, I like that. By far the best way to get started. Let me check. I was gonna check, so I have 1350 shares. So I'm gonna put the 1350 shares at above $22, and you might be like, well, Ricky, what the heck? Why are you putting it like above $22 when, first of all, that's above the resistance, right? Second of all, the top VWAP is right here, and it might get rejected here. The whole point of me having my order like ready is just so I can drag, drop, and click, right? If I all of a sudden want to, get it out of here and just want to sell it, then I'll at least be able to do that at a much quicker pace rather than having to do anything like on my keyboard. So I've talked about that before. There's a hotkey section and stuff like that. Yeah. How would you mimic this manually? I would look into the Bollinger Bands. I'd try to see if that's something that you have access to. That's so cool. Justin, hear this. Ever since I joined LPP, I have been looking forward to weekdays. LMA, wait, LMAO. You know what that means, right? Yeah. I never thought that this would happen. So I like that. Yeah, no, I know. That's what I was thinking about because when I went to go visit Hawaii, um, I had to wake up at 3:30 to 4 o'clock to trade. So that wasn't the best. Maybe we might be focusing on short-term swing trades when we're in Hawaii. How about that? And no live streams, right? Just kidding. Low correction. Let's check that out. Okay, showing signs of an uptrend pattern, still pretty consistent. Pretty low volume probably. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of these. Okay, overall SMA still showing signs of it taking time to reverse up. Okay, but trying to understand when is a good time to sell based on previous patterns at around, what is that, $21, it would make sense. So with where it's at right now and $21, that range just isn't, I don't know this company enough, right? If I'm going to invest in something where it offers 1% here or 1% in something that I'm much more aware of and comfortable with, I would much rather choose that, right? Because I understand the characteristics a little bit more. What's up?
Hey, man, Hunter. Harley, nice to meet you.
We got the whole gang today. Like it. First day a part of LPP and up $300. I like that. Congratulations. Super happy to hear that. I think Justin's sick. What I'm liking about Diaz is, let's check that out. Okay, definitely. SMA line still acting as support. Yep. So the 2-day, 5-minute. Okay. Yeah, and it definitely broke that pattern of it below the SMA that it was continuously getting rejected. So I like that. The morning push during pre-market hours gave us, I think, the push that we needed. So let's look at /MG. Selling off. Yeah, no signs of a reversal just yet. I'm going to set an alert here because as we get closer to okay. So it looks like it's starting to struggle a little bit to continue to make higher highs. So I don't usually like looking at the dollar value that I'm up. The MACD is starting to curve back down a little bit. And if it starts to show signs of an indication of a pullback and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with, as of right now, again, just me because I have the ability to lock in profits and then try to buy the dip again. I definitely wanted to continue to push up and try to minimize the overall positions that I have to take. But yeah, There we go. FRAC back at resistance, right around 1365. So overall pattern here, yep, 1.2%. That's solid. Wow. Okay. All right, 133. Robinhood Harley. Yep, he's alive. I'm funny today, huh? Yeah, I could use that. I don't know. I just choose not to. Let me know if anybody else's stream is blurry. Overall, it shows to be green, so quality should be pretty good. Do you guys see what I'm seeing right now? Do you guys see this consolidation? So there's no signs of a downward pattern, but it's just the MACD that's starting to like, yeah, just to show signs of like almost like a reversal pattern, right? So, and that's what I don't want. I mean, I don't want it to have to sell off and then me to get back everything that I'm up already. And I'm not up very much, but you know, thinking about it in the perspective of like, okay, what is it that I am up, right? And then if I just wait for the sell off, buy back in again and push up, then I don't have to give it back, right? Wow, love that, Christian. Have you been watching the World Cup? I have not, but after the gift that I gave my dad yesterday, he was more excited talking about the World Cup and the Mexico win than he was about the gift. So it's very, yeah, no, but I'm super happy to hear that so many people get excited about his sport. I think that, well, that sounded pretty bad, but no, I mean it as in like, it brings people together and stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty sweet thing. Stay green, where can you sell? All right, I like it. All right, there it goes. Again, it's starting to consolidate and show this just consolidation phase, /NG. Okay, and then we can see the almost reversal here. So definitely on edge. Let's see what happens. Let's go, Mexico. So IQ pullback. All right. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's solid, Alex. Thank you. There it goes, and there goes the sell-off. Let's check out IQ for Aussie. Okay, so IQ pullback at $42. Wouldn't necessarily call that a pullback, man. It's definitely looking at the range just based on previous patterns. I don't even know how long it's been doing this, but yeah, definitely not a sell-off. That's not a sell-off at all. Definitely very overextended. Sell-off would be more of like seeing that it pulls back down to like over here, the EMA line. As of right now, looking at the 1 day, 1 minute, even looking at the time frame, yeah, this is like a perfect indication. When is it a good time to buy, and when is it a good time to sell? Well, looking at previous patterns, you can see that 42.50 tends to be a better sell territory, right? And then the lowers of or the lower buy of around $38 would be more of a buy territory. So just if you're going to be buying at $42 for it to be a good deal, I'm just letting you know that that's probably not a good deal, right? Because this is more of a sell territory. Now it would make sense that if it were to sell off, bounce around, start to consolidate and then reverse around this area, that would make a little bit more sense. So yo, D-Gas, oh sorry. Should we sell? I want to do you guys a favor. And for all those that are invested in DGAS, I will sell, and then all of a sudden, just like we know, it will go up. Right after I sell, it will go up. So I'm going to sell. Looking at level 2, 51, 52. All right. Let's wait for it to confirm. So we go. And I'll actually explain to you guys in just a little bit. So like what the whole point of like how did we come up even with that dollar value to like gift my dad and stuff like that? It wasn't just random. There we go. Okay. And there it goes. Shoots up, of course. I swear it happens every freaking time. Oh, it's like a joke, but it's not, you know? It's like a joke that's real. You know? Oh. Okay. So not bad. $154, right? So Junior's like, thanks again. Thanks for selling our key. I'm buying now. Yeah, it's all good. As long as you guys make money, that's all that matters, right? Okay, so now we're here again. Let's wait for the confirmation of the reversal. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just like making a joke about it. But again, covering profits too early is a much better issue to have than not covering profits or not being green enough, right? So we did a pretty good job focusing on something that was actively trending up. It was a little bit under. I mean, from our call out from when we started seeing value in this, overall about 1.5% is what it covered. So not huge percentage, but it's still something. Still showing signs of an uptrend, still going strong. No indication of a pullback just yet. It just made higher highs. So that's all dandy. One thing that I'm looking at now is, do you guys see this pattern? Do you guys see this consolidation of overall support? Do you see how, so looking at this, so like it's all understanding of when something is a good buy and when it's in good sell territory, right? You want to buy when it's a good buy. So you can see that around 1370, that's normally where the support is at, right? So you can see that it's a good deal, but is it a good buy? When something is a good buy, we like to wait for an uptrend, and we like to wait for this direction of the EMA to start pointing up, because right now it's still pointing down. Do you see how it's like consolidating just right here, but it's not making higher highs? It's not showing any indication of it moving back up. The MACD indicator, so now that it went green, that's attractive. RSI, however sold that is, that's attractive. And actually looking at the overall pattern on this 180-day pattern, we can look at just like this 20-day analysis. We could see that, hey, it normally bounces at around this area. So it would almost make sense why that would be a good potential buy. But again, the thing that we want to wait for is making sure that you're getting in for a good buy and that you're getting in when it confirms an uptrend. So if I get in right now, that's something that I can do, but I run the risk of getting in before the confirmation and then for it to continue to sell off. Just because it's done something before does not mean that it has to do it again, and that's why patience and confirmation is so important. So just trying to keep it as simple as possible. I'm going to set my alert here, and once I get a confirmation that it's moving back up, great, I can revisit it, and if it continues to go up, then great. So what would be my plan? There it goes. And that's the first candle. So what I'm going to do is, so this one's about 13. So I'm going to go in with about 25K is total what I would like to go in with. So a 13.75 position, right? That's about 1,800 shares. So do I want to go all in as of right now? So I can click, buy. There's a lot of buyers. And JNEG is one that has pretty solid volume. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. Do you see how this EMA line is now curling back up? You see how it's not pointing down anymore? That's an indication of a reversal. And then again, it was consolidating here, and then it made new highs, and that's exactly what we want to see. We want it to, continue to show signs of an uptrend. Oh, James, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good day, man. Oh, it's your birthday? My guy. Okay. Yes, Hudson, that is correct. I'll have to check that. Okay, I'll check that, Muhammad. Yep, let's check that out. So, gotta go, guys. Gotta take care of stupid work meetings. I'll set my alerts. All right, Ricardo. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, bud. Be safe and take it easy. Very quick, I'm just going to share my plan here. I'll recap on everything else that's actively trading up. I'll break down USLV and DSLV for all those that are asking. And yeah, happy birthday, James. I didn't know it was your birthday, man. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you can eat some canes. It's always a good birthday. And then I'm going to break down USLV, and then we'll pretty much end it there. That will be a 1 hour live stream. Can you believe that? It's already been 1 hour. Has it felt like 1 hour? No, huh? It goes by so quick. Bro, it's you have fun, make money, bro. It's like that. All right. You gonna look at callouts? Yeah, I've been looking at callouts. I just haven't been looking at them that aggressively because I wanted to focus on what was actively trending up. So a very quick breakdown for like what my plan is. I would still like to focus on JNUG as a day trade, right? With that understanding, there's going to be a resistance right around 1390, 1390 to about $14. That's going to be my sell range. So with where it's at right now and the price that I got filled to that sell territory, it's about 1.2%, and overall highs of about 1.8%. So with that understanding, that's my margin of profit, potential profit. Again, understanding where the support is at and stuff like that. So where it's normally a good buy. So yeah, I mean, we have an overall understanding of kind of this horizontal pattern, the potential that it has. Also, I mean, it does offer swing trade potential, but I didn't go in it as a swing trade, like with that understanding, just because the overall direction of the EMA line is not there. So I would like to, maybe give it a little bit more time before and if I do go in for a swing trade, I'm definitely not going to go in with my full-on position of as of right now, the $25,000. So I'll set my alerts right now, and then we can go from there. So set alerts, just because we're going to be breaking down stocks and we're going to be kind of distracted, right? Set an alert if it breaks below this. And then when it breaks above this. And as it approaches resistance, right? Series of alerts that are important to me. Continues to indicate an uptrend, breaks above the middle VWAP, is approaching resistance, or if it sells off and starts to break support. So as of right now, we're up $19.80 on that. Very quickly, looks like, again, DGAS is starting to show signs, again, kind of a peak formation, just quickly following up on that. WTI still showing signs of an uptrend. Again, trying to do a very good job holding above the middle VWAP and the top VWAP. Great indication of an uptrend. Same thing with Gush, not progressively really making like higher highs, but it is trying to. So it's making lower highs or higher lows. Do you see that? So it's kind of like that. That's kind of attractive. There we go. JNUG just gave me an indication that it's continue to move up. So yeah, that's something to look at. Potential reversal here, double bottom, something to take into consideration. And then FRAC, again, getting rejected at the same price point, trying to get in for the best deal, or trying to get in when it actually breaks certain resistance levels, indicating more of an uptrend. So USLV. First of all, for those that aren't too familiar, just because we don't talk about them very often, USLV and DSLV, right? USLV, as of right now, is the one that's more on the oversold side. We've talked about this one multiple times, and it's the one that's currently down, right? It's definitely more in the oversold side. You can see of where it normally bounces at. This is like huge, the 180-day 4-hour analysis. And with that understanding, like, yes, it's in the good deal territory, but it doesn't mean that it's a good buy. And again, what the heck do you mean by that, Rick? Well, again, it's not actively trending up, right? Especially not intraday. And yes, it did show some signs of a reversal on Friday, but then again, it got rejected by that SMA indicator, and it's still continuing to sell off. MACD indicator not showing any signs of a reversal. RSI not showing any signs of a reversal. The only reason that I would somewhat see value in USLV is just because of how oversold it is. But again, I don't want to invest in something that's actively trending down. So let's just set those alerts for this overall reversal pattern. Looking at the inverse, DSLV, DSLV is the one that's more on the overbought side, right? And it's actually approaching that SMA line, and it's kind of acting as a resistance. So if we see it get rejected again, then that's somewhat confirming that, okay, this is the time where, we'll see DSLV start to reverse, which means that USLV is the one that, is going to show the most signs for potential of reversal and to make up all this margin. The reason why, we find this attractive is because it has a pattern of trading within this area, right? Usually at around the lows of, the mid of $9 and maybe the highs of 10.50. When it pushes above 10 to about 11 and stuff like that, that's not as common. So let's be realistic, right? But yeah, I mean, that's really just it. So I think that's a pretty solid. Yeah, let's see. WTI killing it. Do you ever type in notes when you're saying alerts? I do sometimes, but I'm usually focusing on just one or two stocks throughout the day that I don't really need to. And I'm always behind my computer. So for someone that might not be behind their computer or next to their phone, the notes would make sense, but you would still need the alerts, right? Yeah. So JNX 72 so far. Okay. In about 2 weeks. All right. Okay, so CRSP showing signs of almost a peak formation. It is around the middle view up. So again, one thing that we might see that is very similar to kind of what happened is, what was it? Was it WTI? This. Do you see how it was selling off and then it broke above the EMA and confirmed that uptrend pattern? So what was that? CRSP. That's something that we want to wait out for. If we want this thing to continue the uptrend pattern, then let's set those alerts and make sure that it breaks above the middle view up and continues to uptrend. If it continues to sell off and make lower lows, then we would expect somewhat of a sell-off and not supposedly a goodbye as of right now. So understanding the overall direction, solid uptrend pattern. Okay, I like it. Junior, you do an amazing job with these call-outs. You have a very good eye for value. And yeah, let's be patient though. Do you see how overextended it is? Look at this pattern. It has continued to make lower lows, right? It's been selling off and stuff like that. So we might need a little bit more time for this thing to sell off, be in better buy territory, and to be able to sell and make up all this margin of profit. So let's be patient. And if you're focusing on something as a day trade, then great. But as of right now, just going based off of previous patterns, as of right now, it's just a little bit more on the overbought side for my taste. So why are you blocked? Blocked from what? I can see your message, but I don't know if some of your messages were getting removed, but yeah, no one's blocked. So Graham is calling out MIK. Let's go ahead and break that down. MIK, overall direction, strong downward pattern. That's something that I would see a lot of value in as of right now. I do see that this is more on the oversold side, so it does show some dip buy potential. I'm not a huge fan of this overall pattern, so I don't like to invest in something that's actively trending down as of right now. It's just, unless it's something that I'm very familiar with, because I know I do invest in sometimes stocks that are descending, but it's because I'm familiar with the pattern. I don't understand this one. This one's more of a stock, not an ETF, right? And it can be easily influenced by news, such as its earning report, which led to this huge sell-off. So just think about this. A company lost about 22%, almost 23% of its value all over one day. That's just not very attractive for me. Yes, it does have the reversal potential, but yeah. Al Capone, let's see, FDEF. What's up, Bish? Showing signs of an uptrend pattern. Okay, continuous uptrend. I like that. Definitely, like around this would definitely be good buy territory. Just make sure that you know when you're going to be exiting, and also make sure that you understand what would be an indication of a sell-off. So if it continues to sell off and then breaks below the support, just understand that if it continues to make lower lows and breaks below, like anywhere around $62, that would kind of be a break of pattern that I would no longer see value in. So, yeah. So check JNUG. JNUG looks like it got rejected by that middle view op. Okay. That's why we have these different alerts. There it goes, selling off. Now I'm down $16. Henry, you're gonna have to buy me canes today. Check J9. Alright, J9 got some rebalancing. Thanks, man. Still trying to get more confident in my analysis. I like that. No, I really do appreciate that. So, and your break, like, I definitely see why it is. Like, there's no question. First of all, intraday, 100% makes sense on why you called it out. Definitely see, if you want to treat it as a day trade, I definitely see intraday value. There's no, like, and I wasn't focusing on a day trade, so I do apologize for that. I was looking at more at the 180-day analysis because I wanted to understand the overall direction. So it would make sense that as it's sold off very aggressively, that maybe for the first couple of days, that it might try to recover. And as long as you treat it as a day trade, bouncing in between and trading in between the middle and top VWAP definitely makes a lot of sense. So great call out on that. I just want you to understand both directions, intraday and then the overall big time direction of the company, because if you for 1 second think, okay, well, then I'm going to swing trade this, and then you don't understand the overall direction, then yeah, it just wouldn't make much sense to continue to hold. Does that make sense? Because you understand that it's a strong descending pattern, and I need you to be aware of both. Even though you're day trading it, I need you to be aware of the direction to make sure that you don't make the mistake of holding it. So this thing will cover pretty quick. Okay. Roku, that's one that I'm not a huge fan of. Up pretty good today. Okay. So Roku is just one that's been manipulated very often that I don't really like it. Yeah. So as of right now, if you think that it's up intraday and you want to treat it as a day trade, great. I think it's very overextended. It's not in good buy territory. And if it continues to uptrend, then great. I just don't think the margin of profit that it has left to cover would be, very attractive. So, all right, guys, that is it for the callouts. No more callouts, please. So the last one that I'm going to do is CPE, and then that's going to be it. So strong downward pattern. Yes, it's at a previous support at around $94. So yeah, but again, just understand the overall descending direction. I don't know your experience level, right, Yusuf? As long as you understand that, okay, it does have the potential to bounce here. Let's wait for the confirmation above the EMA. Or if you want to get in before the EMA, that's up to you. Yes, it's a good buy territory, but is it a good investment as of right now? There's no indication of an uptrend and stuff like that. So, Daniel, I do have to be, yeah, I'm not going to break it down. So and then overall resistance would be around 205. And the reason that I say that, Daniel, is just because every time that I call something out and then I say that I'm done, everyone continues to call out their stocks. And just because they know that I'm very lenient. So sorry about that. Hope you understand. So CPE, definitely in good buy territory. I would like to wait a little bit more for a confirmation of an uptrend. Intraday, let's focus on that. Definitely showing signs of an uptrend and showing signs of why it's showing signs of an overall potential reversal. But as of right now, I would like to wait for a little bit more of a confirmation before getting in, especially for a swing trade if that's how you see value in it. So, but I like it. So I'm going to add this one under pending reversals. Oh, it is already. Sweet. All right, then we're good. This thing just break its resistance. All right, I think we're good. So, all right, up barely on that one. On this one, I'll be able to cover the 154, and we'll follow up with the rest. 3 hours till I complete LPP. I like it. All right. I've already explained that, Dr. Rick. So can you explain a quick explanation on why you don't average down? I don't average. I mean, I do average down in the sense that I don't feel. I mean, I do add to my position even if it's below my initial purchase price, as long as it's showing signs of an uptrend. The thing that I don't do is I don't buy as it continues to sell off, because I don't want to invest in something that's showing signs of a downward pattern. Easiest way to put it. So yeah. All right. That is it for today, team. All right, sounds good. All right, guys. Well, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, I already talked about Yusuf. Come on, I already talked about the plan for Diaz. So I'm sorry that if you guys, yeah, I already talked about my entry and exit and what it is that I see value in my day trade. So thank you guys again for tuning in. If you guys have any questions about like anything others that we covered today, or if you have something that is not already covered in today's live stream or in the course, please feel free to direct message me. If not, just please feel free to review everything that we just covered today and that we already offer in the course. If you guys have any suggestions of what you guys think that we should cover in the Learn Plan Profit Lesson Library, then be sure to direct message me, and I'm sure that we'd be more than happy to assist you. So yeah, I mean, that's really just it. So JCP just broke above 280. But if you guys have any questions about how to get access to your affiliate links, first of all, there's a video in the announcement section, so please be sure to check that video out first. It's about 2 minutes long, and it explains to you how to get access to your affiliate link. If you don't see your affiliate link on the top right-hand corner of your Teachable account, then please direct message Justin, the email that you used to enroll, asking for your affiliate link. And then after that, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys again so much for your patience and for everything that you guys do. Continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be your drive, your success. Like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.